Hello, my favorite English language learners. We are live. Happy Thursday. Welcome to class. Come in and say hello. If you are here, come say hi in the chat. I am so excited. Just going to wait for some students to come in. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here. Send me a message in the chat. Let me know you're here. Oh, Gian, good morning. Well, for you, probably evening. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I got a new bookshelf. I'm really excited about it. Gian, let me know how you're doing. Has school started for you? Are you teaching? My other viewers, comment in the chat. Let me know how you are. You're teaching now. Do you get summer? Do you get a summer break, Gian? Hey, Nathaniel. Oh, I feel happy to see you too. Oh, good, Gian. So you had a summer break, and now we're all back. Our first week of classes is this week at my university where I teach. So things have been very busy getting ready for the fall quarter, but I'm really excited, and I'm also happy to start incorporating my YouTube live streams into my schedule because I love seeing you all. Gian, do you do more teaching or research? I'm curious. All right, and I'm just going to put on the next slide while we wait for a few more students. So if you all want to answer this question in the chat, you probably know that today's topic is about Queen Elizabeth, the royal family. So I just thought we could start off with some fun trivia, get you guys reading and thinking. So my first trivia question is, what was Queen Elizabeth's favorite dog breed? Is it a mini schnauzer, a beagle, Scottish terrier, or a corgi? Lilith is in the chat and she knows. Hi Lilith, thanks for joining us. Van Tran says a beagle, so this is the beagle. This is the first one, mini schnauzer, a beagle, a Scottish terrier, and a corgi. Van Tran, it's good to have you back. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for joining. And Gian, I'm just really interested in your job, and it's really cool that you're doing research. I'm really interested in that and to hear that. Ramon says all of them. No, Queen Elizabeth only had one kind of dog as far as I'm concerned, and the answer is a corgi, this little one. So Lilith, good job. Sounds like you know a bit of pop culture. Van Tran, so good to have you back. Not quite the Scottish Terrier, but the corgi. Okay, and we also have another set of slides with some questions. So, question number 1, how long did Queen Elizabeth reign? 57 years, 64 years, 67 years, or 70 years? That's our first question. Our second question is who inherited the throne? Prince Philip, Prince Charles, Prince Harry, or Prince William? And then 3, who is next in line after that? Prince Philip, Prince Charles, Prince Harry, Prince William. So we can start off with the first one. How long did Queen Elizabeth reign? We've got a few answers. Some of you said D. And that is correct. Nice. I actually have all the answers on the next slide, so we'll just go through the next one too. Who has inherited the throne? Prince Philip, Prince Charles, Prince Harry, or Prince William? Van Tran says Prince Charles. Any other guesses? A lot of you agree that it is B, Prince Charles, and we can go on to the last one. So who is next in line after that? Philip, Charles, Harry, or William? All right, so all of you said D, and here we go. Here's our answer. So most of you were right for pretty much all of them. So it sounds like you have been keeping up with this current event. Queen Elizabeth reigned for 70 years, longest reigning monarch, which is very impressive. Number 2, who has inherited the throne? We have Prince Charles, but now he is King Charles, and he's right here. And who is next in line after that? We have Prince William. So thank you for your participation. And I just wanted to get us started with some interaction and some questions to get you thinking about our topic today. So this is our agenda. We are going to start off with some royal family vocabulary. I've picked a lot of these words from articles that I've read lately. So these are words that I have seen come up a lot in the different articles I've read about Queen Elizabeth. So I think that they'll be very useful for you if you continue to read about this current event. We will also do a little bit of a practice activity just like we've done with the trivia. So get ready to participate. After that, we will talk about various opinions about the royal family. A lot of people have very different opinions, and I want to present both sides to you, especially so you can become familiar with what are some of the reactions that people are having, as well as some more vocabulary to talk about those reactions. We're going to practice a little bit, again, with those vocabulary words, and then kind of segueing into a different topic, but still related, not quite about the royal family, but just some useful vocabulary to talk about the topic of death. I've seen a lot of great vocabulary since this is the issue we're dealing with, so I thought it would be useful for you to present some of that to you guys. So let's start off with some vocabulary. This one came up in our first trivia question. To reign is a verb, and it means to be in power as a king or queen. There's a silent G in there. I don't know where the G comes from, but we just say to reign. And then if you want to use this in the noun form, you can say the reign of Queen Elizabeth. That just means the time period that someone was in power as king or queen. And that is the noun form. We also have the verb to inherit. This means to receive something after a person, probably usually a family member, dies. And we have a lot of different word forms related to this word, so I want to go through a few of those with you. We have the noun form inheritance, which is what you receive. So all the money, all the assets, maybe the house, or anything else that a person owned that you receive, that is your inheritance. So you could say something like, his inheritance was worth $10 million. We also have another noun form, but talking about the person who receives the inheritance. So that is the word heir. Silent H, we don't say hair, we say heir. And so in a sentence we can say, Prince William will be the heir to the throne after Charles. Same pronunciation as like air that you breathe. So if you're curious about if there's a difference, there's not a difference. Air and air, they're just spelled differently. We also have another word in this word family. It is not totally related to being regal or royal or anything, but it does mean to get passed down from generation to generation. And this is an adjective. And we often use this word to talk about diseases or things that we get passed down from generation to generation, like in your system. So hereditary, and you can say something like certain heart diseases are hereditary. And this word, we do pronounce the H. Hereditary, hereditary. So certain heart diseases are hereditary. I also want to say hi, Gams. Thanks for joining us and commenting in the chat. I'm really happy you're here, and I hope your internet works out for you. I know it's kind of unstable over there. So continuing on with our vocabulary, you saw this in the third trivia question. We have the phrase to be next, to be second, to be third, in line to the throne. And that means to be the next heir or the next person who inherits the crown, the throne, who will be the next person in power. Treasure J, hi, thank you for joining me. You're from Myanmar. That's really cool. Very far away from me, and I'm really happy we can connect over here. So as I was reading some magazines about the royal family, I came across this little clip right here where it says, Prince George, the 9-year-old royal, as the firstborn to Prince William and Princess Kate, is second in line. To be second in line, to be third in line, to be next in line to the British throne. And isn't Prince George just the cutest kid? I think he and Princess Charlotte are so cute. And can you imagine him being king one day? Isn't that a funny thought? And then in the same clip, you'll notice that this author uses the word royal, and typically royal is an adjective. But in this magazine, they're using it as a noun. So you can say a royal or the royals as an informal noun. For example, the royals, like the royal family, are on the front cover of the magazine. Or in this magazine, we see Prince George, the 9-year-old royal, basically the 9-year-old royal person, but we're using the adjective as a noun, as the firstborn to Prince William and Princess Kate, is second in line to the British throne. So if this is confusing to you at all, you can kind of think about it how we turn certain adjectives into nouns by saying the rich, the poor, the wealthy. And here we're just saying the royals. And the royals are referring to the royal family being used as a noun. And continuing on, this is the more typical way to use the word royal as an adjective. It just means related to the king or queen. So you can have the royal family, the royal palace, the royal crown. And last December, I actually got to go to London, and this is me standing in front of the royal palace, Buckingham Palace. It was really cool. I got to see all of the guards walking, and with that funny hats and the red coats, and it was a really cool experience. Have any of you all been to London? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear if you have been there at all. So we have a couple words that we've just gone through, and we're going to go through these questions one by one, and I want you to fill in the blank with the word from the left that goes into the sentence on the right. So let's do number 1 together. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry decided to remove themselves from the blank family. Reigned, inheritance, heir, hereditary, throne, or royal. Send your answers to the chat. We've got a few answers. And you guys are all right. Let's see. I have a new person commenting. Is it Lado or Eodo? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for your comment, and I'm really happy that you can watch it afterwards. Take your time, no pressure, but I'm happy that you're here. Okay, so lots of you guys said royal. Perfect. Let's move on to number 2. Even though Meghan and Harry did this, they still received a large blank. Good, good, good. We got inheritance. Nice. Good job, Treasure Jay. Good job, Gia, Nathaniel. We all got it. Perfect. Okay. Number 3, certain forms of cancer can be blank. Good job, everybody. Hi, Lynn Dollop. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for coming to the chat. Happy to see you. Yes, you all got it. Hereditary is correct. Let's go to number 4. Queen Elizabeth blank for 70 years. Yes, yes. There we go. Reigned is A. And our last one, we've got 2 answers for this one. There are 10 blank waiting in line for the blank. This one will require 2 answers. Ramon got it. Guion got it. Lynn got it. Nice, you guys. All right, let's continue on. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of people have really different perspectives about the Queen, about the monarchy. So here it says some people are very sad about the late Queen Elizabeth, whereas others feel conflicted or they don't even care, right? So notice how I said this. Opinions about the late Queen's passing. I said some people are very sad about the late Queen Elizabeth. When we use the word late plus a person, that is a respectful way to say they're dead. We would never say some people are very sad about the dead Queen Elizabeth. That just sounds really funny, really disrespectful, very informal, and kind of too direct. So when we say the late plus a person, that means that they have passed away. So some other examples include the late Betty White. She was a super famous actress in the United States, and she lived to be 99 years old, and she passed away on New Year's Eve of this year, and she almost turned 100. She was supposed to have a big birthday party in January, but she passed away just a couple weeks before her 100th birthday, and everybody loved this woman, and everybody was just heartbroken when she passed away. So we can refer to her as the late Betty White. Oop. We also have the late Anthony Bourdain. He was a famous chef and TV show host, and he was, I think, from New York, and he actually committed suicide not too long ago, a few years ago, and we can just call him the late Anthony Bourdain. So this can be kind of confusing because you might think that this person was not on time, they were always late, but that is not what that means in the context of someone dying or someone passing away. So I think that's a very useful adjective for you all. Now, again, some people are very sad about the late Queen Elizabeth. Others feel conflicted or they don't even care. So let's look at some vocabulary for both sides, all right? So for those who viewed the Queen positively, people who loved the Queen, they are mourning and grieving. So to mourn, to grieve, these are verbs that mean to feel very sad, usually about a loss or a death. Many revered her as a symbol of national unity. I've been seeing the verb revere a lot in the articles I'm reading about her. So to revere means to respect. So she was very well respected. She was revered. And notice in the pronunciation, we don't say revered. It's not a re, it's a schwa, revered. And the stress is on the second syllable. Revere. So try saying that out loud at home. Revere. Also, we have the collocation national unity. Now, you probably understand the meaning of this, but I want to highlight it as a collocation. It just means the unity of a country or how close people feel to one another, how much in agreement they are united, and it is national unity. Good collocation for you to know. Now, number 3, a lot of people have been saying that the Queen offered stability because of the longevity of her reign. We've got 2 really nice nouns here, very academic. So stability is the noun form of the adjective stable. It means being peaceful, being calm, not a lot of chaos. It's very stable, it's solid. And then the word longevity is a long length of time or a long period of time. And for the pronunciation on this, we have longevity. So that G kind of gets pronounced twice. Longevity. And that one is a very academic word that I've been seeing in a lot of these magazines and articles about her, because she reigned for so long, for 70 years. People are describing this situation with the word longevity, the longevity of her reign. People also remember her as being very personable, warm, and funny. And personable, you can see the word person in there. That means good with people, sociable, great adjective to know. And number 5, many leaders are offering or expressing their condolences and paying their respects. These two phrases are so common when a celebrity passes away, or maybe there's an accident with a bunch of victims. People offer their condolences or go and pay their respects. So to offer or express one's condolences means to just say that you are also sad. It's a way of expressing your sympathy or mourning with someone else. So notice the possessive here. You can use the possessive pronouns. He offered his condolences. She offered her condolences. They offered their condolences. So we're always using that possessive pronoun before condolences. And then we have to pay one's respects, which is very similar. It's another way to sympathize with someone who is grieving. But when you pay your respects, this means you physically go somewhere to do this. You go to the funeral, you go to the memorial out of respect. So a lot of people flew from all over the world to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth. Many people in London waited in line, long lines, to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth when they buried her. And like I said, I've been seeing a lot of these vocabulary words in a lot of different places. So here are just a few tweets that I also thought were kind of funny because this is a very serious topic, but these companies are not the most serious. But yeah, it's kind of funny. For example, Domino's in the UK, they tweeted, "Everyone at Domino's joins the nation and the world in mourning the death of Queen Elizabeth II." So we have the word mourning. Our thoughts and condolences are with the royal family. So lots of vocabulary there. We're mourning with them. We're sending our condolences, royal family. We also have the show Les Miserables. They tweeted this. They said, "Everyone at Les Miserables is deeply saddened by the passing of Her Majesty the Queen, and we offer our sincere condolences." Notice how we use the possessive pronoun. We offer our sincere condolences to the royal family. We join together with the people of the United Kingdom and around the world in mourning her loss. So condolences, mourning, we see those words a lot. And then this last one doesn't have any of our vocabulary, but I thought it was kind of funny. At McDonald's, on their ordering screen, they decided to offer their condolences by putting Queen Elizabeth on their menu. So lots of people very sad about Queen Elizabeth passing away. And let's do a little bit of matching. We can go ahead and let's do number 1. Let's do that. Number 1, unlike the Queen, King Charles is not known for being very pay their respects, late, national unity, personable, or revere. Send your answer to the chat. Nice, Lynn. Nice. We have D, personable. Lynn and Ramon, good job to you. Number 2, Queen Elizabeth was put to rest. That's another really nice collocation. To put someone to rest means to bury them on Monday, and people waited hours in line to do what? Good, Lynn, you're with me. Nice, Ramon. And number 3. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you the answer. Pay their respects, yes. So they waited hours in line. They were in person to pay their respects. Number 3, the wife of the blank president gave a speech at his funeral. So this president is dead. And we can use a word before it to mean dead. Nice, Gian. Yes, Lynn. Wonderful. The wife of the late president, yes, gave a speech at his funeral. Number 4, currently, blank in the U.S. is very weak. Good job, Gian. Yes, Lynn. National unity. National unity in the U.S., unfortunately, very, very weak these days. And number 5, while many people blank Queen Elizabeth, others have criticized the monarchy. So the opposite of criticizing, we might say revered. Yes. Nice, Lynn. Good job. And you can use that in the present or the past tense, either one, because some people could still respect her. But since she has passed away, you could also put it in the past tense. Both answers are fine. So speaking of number 5, we're going to transition over. We had, people who very much respected and revered her, and now we're going to talk about the criticism of the monarchy. So one of the reasons that people have criticized the monarchy is because the royal family has had many scandals. For example, Harry and Meghan, they kind of quit the royal family. There was that whole interview with Oprah a while back. Maybe you're familiar with Prince Andrew's friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, who was like a convicted sexual offender. We have Prince Charles' divorce from Princess Diana and just how he treated her. So a lot of people criticize the scandals that have happened within the royal family. And a scandal is such a great word. It is a noun, but if you want to describe something with the same word, you can use the word scandalous. And this is an action or an event that is considered wrong, usually by the public. Scandals are public events that people see and judge. They usually get put in the newspaper, in the tabloids, in magazines, and people like to talk about the scandal of the day. But again, if you want to describe a situation, you can say, oh, that was a scandalous event, or his behavior was scandalous. In addition to the scandals, a lot of people criticize the monarchy for their colonial past. I'm seeing this word or this collocation in a lot of magazines and news articles. They're criticizing the British as colonizers. And then the saying that the monarchy committed a lot of atrocities. So like the slave trade, expanding their empire, taking land that wasn't theirs. So the verb to colonize means to take over and politically dominate other people's land. And again, the adjective form would be colonial. That's how we get their colonial past from the verb to colonize. And then to commit an atrocity, super academic, very advanced collocation. An atrocity is a very evil or wicked action. So to commit an atrocity. And although we should respect when someone passes away, some people are talking about the atrocities that the British Empire committed. And here's just a map of the countries in the British Empire at its height to see all the places where they went and expanded into. And then because of these reasons, people scrutinize the monarchy, or the monarchy faces a lot of scrutiny. So we have the verb to scrutinize. This is a really great advanced verb, which means to criticize. To scrutinize, to scrutinize, to scrutinize. I guess 3 syllables. It's like 2.5 syllables. I don't really pronounce the first I. To scrutinize. And then scrutiny. Scrutiny is the noun form, which means criticism. They're synonyms. So let's go on to our matching. Number 1, people who criticize or scrutinize the monarchy mention their past as committed atrocities, as royals, as scandal, or as colonizers. Let me know in the chat. Van Tran, I'm very impressed. You know what a glottal T is. Yes, I would say that's a glottal T. It's like Manhattan, scrutiny, scrutiny. And let's see, Ramon and Guion said D, and that is correct. Yeah, people who criticize the monarchy mention their past as colonizers. Number 2, while the British were involved in the slave trade, many other countries have blank as well. Great. Hi, Ivy. Welcome to my live stream. Thanks for coming in the chat. I'm happy you're here. Yes, committed atrocities. So, some people are critical or they scrutinize the monarchy and the British Empire for having committed atrocities, but other countries have done that as well. Committed atrocities. And number 3, Prince Andrew has been involved in a very serious blank related to sexual assault. This is very scandalous and sad. Good, good. Ivy and Guion, we've got scandal. Nicely done. You all got it right. Yay. Oh, my other image disappeared. That's not good, but I still have the other one. So I just wanted to show you some tweets that are going around the internet just to highlight the negative opinions and what people are talking about. So this one comes from a woman named Ebony Thomas, and she says, telling the colonized how they should feel about their colonizers' health and wellness is like telling my people that we ought to worship the Confederacy. So like I said, some people have very negative opinions of the monarchy and the queen herself, and this person doesn't really respect the queen and the monarchy because of their past as colonizers. And so she's saying that, telling the people who have been colonized that they should feel sad about the queen's death is like telling people in the United States that they should worship the Confederacy. The Confederacy were the slave owners in the South who fought to keep slavery. So this person doesn't really agree that she should feel sad about the queen passing because of the bad things that the monarchy has done to different countries. So tweets like this are also going around. And I just want you to be aware of both sides and what people are saying. And so I wanted to share that with you. So I'm kind of curious, how do you feel about this? Is or was your country ever part of the Commonwealth or the British Empire? And how do you feel about the monarchy? Do you feel positive? Do you love the queen and you really respect her and you're going to miss her? What impact has she had in the world? Or do you feel more negative? Do you feel like her past and the whole British royal family have done more harm than good? Do you feel neutral? Let me know in the chat how you feel about Queen Elizabeth passing. Negative. Interesting. If you can expand, I would love to hear your thoughts, and perhaps you can use some of the vocabulary from today. Very good opportunity to practice your English. I feel very sad. I understand that. Yes. Let's expand a little bit. Tell me why. Tell me why you feel sad or not so sad. And let me know if your country is part of the Commonwealth. I'm really interested to hear. Personally, I'm kind of neutral because I want to respect the people who have been colonized, and I haven't. So I want to respect people who feel that way, but I also respect that people will feel sad about it. So I'm kind of neutral. Vietnam was in the French Empire. Sadly, I have no idea about the monarchy. Van, I didn't know that Vietnam was part of the French Empire. I should look into that. Thank you for sharing that with me. Ramon says, I'm from Cuba. There's no monarchy, so he feels kind of neutral. Monarchy is just entertainment, pomp and circumstance. Ooh, that's a really nice collocation. Pomp and circumstance. If anyone's reading that comment, pomp and circumstance is when something is very extravagant. So during the Queen's funeral, there was a lot of pomp and circumstance. All of the guards there in their best clothes with the jewels and all the horses and the instruments and so much. There was so much pomp and circumstance. There were a lot of really fancy, extravagant things there. So yeah, a lot of people just see them as kind of entertainment. That's kind of how I view them too. I don't have a really deep connection or personal feeling about it. But great, thank you guys for sharing. If you have other thoughts, especially Ivy, you feel a little bit negative. I'm really curious, the reasoning, because a lot of people have different reasons for feeling negative. So if you feel like sharing, I would love to hear. All right, so moving on to our last topic. Oh, my image again didn't load, which is okay. It was just a little cemetery. But to talk about death, we have a lot of common phrases that I wanted to share with you. So we have some synonyms for dead or died that are a little bit less direct. For example, to pass away. I'm sure most of you know this one. This is a euphemism that means just softening something that is direct. So to pass away is a phrasal verb. We can also say to pass on. For example, my grandmother, she has passed on. She passed away a couple years ago. And then we also use the noun adjective word saying the deceased. So if there's like an accident and a person died, we can refer to them as the deceased, the dead person. This is another situation where we're kind of using a adjective as a noun. Like we looked at the royals, we have the deceased. So originally it's an adjective, but we're going to use it as a noun. And then if you know someone who is mourning or grieving and you want to sympathize with them, these are some phrases to offer your condolences. You can say, I am so sorry for your loss. That's just a really nice sentence that we use often. You can say, you are in my thoughts and prayers. Or may he or she rest in peace. This is a very common phrase that you often see on a tombstone, like a grave. I had a picture of it here, but it left. So may he or she rest in peace. And I think this is our last group of words. I also wanted to give you some vocabulary about customs, things that we do when someone dies. So number one, you might have a memorial. A memorial is a ceremony celebrating someone who has died. It's very similar to a funeral, but a memorial, you're not burying the person. You're just like sitting and giving speeches and talking about them, but you're not actually burying them. You might have a memorial and then walk over to the cemetery, to the gravesite where they have a funeral. The funeral is a ceremony where you actually bury the person. So both are ceremonies and both celebrate the person who has died, but one is where you actually bury them. Number 3 is cremation, which is the noun, and the verb is to cremate. To cremate means to burn a dead body. That's one way to dispose or to get rid of a dead body. Number 4 is a eulogy. Try saying that one out loud at home. Eulogy. Eulogy. The O is a schwa. Eulogy. This is kind of a fun word to say, but it is a speech about someone who has died. So in one of the matching questions, we said, oh, the wife of the late president gave a speech at his funeral. She gave a eulogy. She gave a eulogy. Number 5 is a will, and this can be a little confusing because usually we use will as a verb, but this is being used as a noun, and it is a legal document describing who will inherit your wealth or your assets. So, for example, my dad, he has a will and I am in his will. He is going to give me, his money or his house or something when he dies. That is in his will, his legal document saying who will inherit his wealth. And number 6, to spread someone's ashes. The ashes are after you cremate someone, after you have a fire, those are the ashes, what is left. And a lot of people go and spread their loved one's ashes when they pass away. This is a way to honor someone who has died by leaving their ashes in a meaningful place. So you probably see this in the movies or TV a lot. Someone will go on a boat and throw their loved one's ashes, or maybe you climb to a mountain and scatter the ashes. I actually spread my grandfather's ashes in Arizona. My family all got together, we went to a mountain, and we spread his ashes at a place where he used to go. That was very beautiful. So it's kind of the alternative to burying someone. And so the last thing I want to do and hear from you all is what is customary to do in your country when someone passes away? I know different cultures have different ways of remembering people who pass on. For us here, I think the most common is to have a funeral or to cremate someone and then spread their ashes. So let me know in the chat what is typical for you all. Also, maybe you can tell me how long you spend mourning or grieving. I'm just really curious about your cultures, your countries, and how you handle someone passing away. So let me know in the chat. And you can use our new vocab if these apply. A memorial and a funeral are common in Cuba. Sorry. Let me know about India, Vietnam. Would love to hear what is common in your country. Use this as an opportunity to practice your English. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to hear from you. Number 3 and 6. Oh, so let's see. Ivy, where are you from? What country are you from, Ivy? So it's more common to cremate someone and then spread their ashes. Okay, India, great. And Ivy, how long do people spend mourning in India? I've been to India and I've seen some processions of people who were about to get cremated, and I'm unsure, but I feel like that period might last longer. In the US, 11 days. Wow. Yeah, in the US, we really just have like one day, for the memorial and the funeral, and then that's kind of it. That's very interesting. Thanks for sharing. 11 days. Is there any significance to that? Like, why is it 11 days? Do certain things happen on specific days? Like day 5 we do this and day 10 we do this? Let me know. Gian might also be able to contribute because Gian is in India as well. Ooh, thank you for your response. It is customary to have a 2 to 3 day funeral for a person. And then they'll usually be buried. Let's see. My people don't want to cremate them. I don't know why, but I want to be cremated when my time comes. Gian, you're from Nepal? How did I think you were from India this whole time? Gian, is it different in Nepal? Like, do you do more funerals or cremations? Let's see. So in Vietnam, it's customary to have a 2 to 3 day funeral for a person. Interesting. Van, thanks for sharing. I think being cremated is more common here because it's cheaper. It's becoming more popular, but we used to do more funerals. Ivy, only on day 4 and day 11 there is a feast, and day 4 is prayers. Great. Ivy, thank you so much for sharing and explaining that to me. I love hearing from you. Ivy, is that a Hindu ritual or is that a different religion? I'm also curious. Okay, so that long process is a Hindu ritual. That's so interesting. Ivy, thank you so much for sharing all of that. You guys, that's all that I have prepared for today. I'll stay on a little bit, and if you want to ask me questions or share more about ceremonies that you have or customs that you have in your country, I would love to hear from you. And we can also talk about things not related if you have English questions, grammar questions, vocab questions. But that is all I have for today. So if you need to go, I understand. But yeah, I'll stay on here for a little bit longer and see if anyone has any questions for me. You're welcome, Ramon. Thanks for coming. Van Tran, by the way, you might need a good warm up for your voice to start a teaching day in order to protect your God given instrument. Yes, you know what? I think it's too early. 8 a.m. is a little early for teaching. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Nice lesson. Thanks, Guion. And thanks for participating and coming. And I'm always here for you if you ever need any English help. I'm always here. Thank you, Van Tran, for your participation and your kind comments. Ivy, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ivy. Oh, yes, good night. I forget that most of you, it's bedtime, so sweet dreams. And I'm very proud of you all for coming and trying to learn English on your own. Very, very proud of you all. So have a good night. All right, I think that is all the questions and comments that we have. So I'm going to stop the stream, but thank you so much for coming again. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.